Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to be talking about some of the harsh truths of the Prism system, and then this video isn't going to be for everybody, but stick with me now. Now, the Prism system that came into Remnant 2 has a lot of combinations and amalgamations that blend together to make a perfect Prisms, which introduce a fusion system which ends up capping out at a legendary affix. Now, the harsh truth of the Prism system is that we have RNG, we have the fusion system, which gives us more of a little bit more RNG, but we also have the legendary affixes at the end, which only drop 3 at a time. Again, I'm going to say this with all sincerity that the Prism system is not made for everybody. The fusion system of the Prism is not meant for everybody. The legendary affixes that come at the end of grinding out all that grind for the Prism is not meant for everybody. Now, the different combinations that we can have in the Prism system are great, which cuts down and consolidates a lot of the grind for most, but once we get to that legendary affix, in order to get that final cherry on top, we may not get the roll that we want, and we're going to end up having to flush that entire Prism down the drain and then start over again to get the legendary affix that we want. Now, I'm going to say that the Prism system was made for those who want to continue playing the game and that want to grind out the game and have something to do. It gives us a carrot to chase at the end of the stick, and if you don't have the time to play the game in order to get to that legendary affix, to get up to level 51 a bunch of times, in order to do the boss rush mode, in order to go back and find those secrets in the game, then the Prism system all in all was not meant for you. It was meant for those who wanted something to continue to do in the game and to mix their different builds together and have a culmination of different builds on hand, which has explosive damage, shield generation, summon support that have infinite health, that can make skill cooldowns near 0 in order to get that power fantasy fulfilled. Now, if you don't have the time to do that, if you have a full-time job, a family at home, something like that, again, most of us do. Most of us are in that range of doing all those things in order to, continue adulting, because that's what you need to do in life, is to continue to adult. But you also want to play games, and you don't want to feel like that you're grinding for no reason. And the legendary affixes is the carrot at the end of the stick in order to get you there, saying, hey, all that effort and time that you put into it was actually worth it. Now, if you're not down for that, then again, this may be a time in your Remnant 2 career and say that you're going to put it down and go play God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man 2, or wait for the Wolverine game to come out. Something a bit more casual. A lot of games have gotten too easy over time, in my opinion, and a lot of games have just been on the trend of getting to the point of giving the characters or giving the players what they want, whether it's pay to win or done through some easy system. And some games are feeling that catering to a more casual audience is actually biting them in the butt. As you can see, Destiny 2's on a downward spiral because they took away the grind. Now, Remnant 2 ended up taking away the grind for most. Most people would finish out all their Prisms and then leave, which would be the top 5% of the player base. And everybody else would have already probably moved on because they got that one Prism. They beat boss rush on the hardest difficulty and continued on with their lives. But Gunfire Games, if I'm assessing them correctly, when they made Before the Ashes and Remnant 1 and Remnant 2, and even stated at the beginning that they'll continue to make content if people want to play it, this is probably the scale on which they judge if people still want to play the game. And if the grind isn't there for you, if you don't want to keep up with the Joneses, which basically that's what you're doing with this whole Prism system and getting to that legendary affix, is if you want to get there faster, if you want to end up leveling up faster, there is no really easy way to get there faster besides making sure you're playing the game for fun. And when you're playing the game for fun, you're not really going to see the grind at hand. But I get it. After the 20th time of re-rolling the Prism system, you will kind of really want to get what you are grinding for. And then Gunfire, as of this point where this video is made, they're saying we'll play some more. And again, If that's just not your jam, then hey, that's just not your jam. I do also have a full-time job and a family and all that stuff like that, but I would like to just keep it real with everybody and let them know what's what. And when it comes to understanding where you fall at on the casual to hardcore scale of playing video games, I understand not everything has to be sweaty, but not everything has to be given out for free. Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
Well, at least that's over.